All right, welcome back to another edition of Real Riders Ride. I am your host, The Spoiler, and today we have a ABATE member from Michigan. He's here at the conference here, and this is Dave Brown, better known as Butch.
Exactly.
And Biker Butch. You're the vice president?
Vice President of Vader, Michigan.
All right, so Butch, kind of tell us how did you get into riding a motorcycle?
Well, I'm a country boy, farm boy. Been riding since I was 12 years old, and I traded my horse for a 1956 Cushman Eagle motor scooter.
It was a horse trade, right?
Yeah, it was. And I started riding that, and of course it just progressed. I was one of the few guys that rode a motorcycle to school, or motor scooter.
Okay.
And of course, I've always had motor scooters and motorcycles since then.
Sure.
I started with that, and
Kind of worked on them too?
oh yeah, all the time I had to wrench on everything. Of
Sure.
course, you know what I'm saying.
Sure. Young man, hey, let's get in here.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. We then I progressed as I grew up more. I got into dirt bikes.
Uh-oh. Now we're picking up some speed.
Oh yeah, and we had some woods that we rode in always and stuff. And back then, there was not a lot of safety issues in the city.
Sure.
Back in the 50s and 60s and whatever, when I was growing up. And anyway, I started riding a 350 Honda, and I wanted to go on the road.
Okay.
And of course, time changed and all that stuff. In 1966, they decided that you had to have a helmet.
Okay. Helmet law comes.
Yeah, and they did it for all the country and blah, blah, blah. And, I was like 20 years old or something like that.
Sure.
And I didn't sort of like that. But anyway, we just kept growing and growing. And then 1976, a BATE was formed in the country.
Okay.
Nationwide. It was started in California.
Okay.
And anyway, then we went from there. A BATE was formed in Michigan also at that year.
Okay. Now they kind of incorporated each state as its own kind of entity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. If you wanted to get into the movement or whatever it might have been, it's what it's called.
Okay.
Back then,
Okay.
a lot of people. We had some gentlemen in Michigan that I grew up idolizing, whatever, that helped me, show me the ropes and so on, and
showed you what's going on.
What's going on? This is what you got to do.
Okay.
I mean, it was part of partying, having fun, riding motorcycles.
And that's the culture.
Yes, I mean, we just wanted to ride motorcycles, basically.
Right.
Didn't have a lot of money.
Okay.
Couldn't, motels, we camped a lot and so on and so forth.
Right.
But
bikers, not millionaires.
That's right. And you had to, I used to work alongside the road on my motorcycle, try to keep it going,
Sure.
Why do you ride them things? Because you're always working on them, but that's what I like to do.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, you graduated from a littler motorcycle to a bigger one.
Right.
And then you get to the bigger one, and then I got to have a Harley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, economics changed, so now you got to get the Harley, right?
Yep. And my first one was a 1973 Shovelhead.
Oh, okay.
And of course, I had to have a chopper and all that stuff.
Sure.
And you got to make it your own bike.
Right.
And of course, we went through, and the ABATE people were around, but I was not too interested at first.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure. Because you're a young man riding motorcycles and partying.
And having fun.
And having a good time. Right.
And I went to a gig one night where some of these boys were at, and they start talking, and you guys are full of beans,
Right.
I was in a certain area where I lived. I lived in the thumb of Michigan. It's all farm country.
Sure.
Woods, a lot of wood bike riders, and I wanted to get on the road more, and so I met Jim Rhodes and Vince Consiglio, that's been in there since 1976.
Okay.
And we become friends. And why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Help us out here. Help us out this. And all of a sudden, I've been in it for over 30 years.
Gotcha.
And I mean, we used to have great dark beards. Now we got white beards.
White beards.
But you know, it's and it took us all these years with the help of this organization that we're here today,
Okay.
the Motorcycle Riders Foundation,
Okay.
to help us in Washington D.C. We needed somebody in the federal level, not just the state level.
So they're like a major lobbying arm. for
Yes,
you.
that's exactly what we are in a sense. It took us 30 years in Michigan to learn how to become, I don't know what you call lobbyists or politicians or whatever,
Right. Right.
how to play their game and try to win.
Sure.
And,
Sure.
and it took us that long, and we
That's
did
what
it.
you're fighting, the politics of it.
Yes.
Right. Right. So if you're going to be in that arena, in one way or another, you got to learn the rules first.
Well, if you want to keep riding motorcycles, you have to become some sort of a political smart, in a sense. You don't want people in Lansing, where I'm from, that's the capital, or you know wherever your state you're from, to start dictating what you can do and can't do.
Gotcha.
And that's basically why I joined. I never got to go to the service, but my brothers did and stuff, and they fought for a lot of that stuff, your freedom.
Sure.
And I figured, you know what, maybe I can do something like this, fight for freedom on this issue. So that's what I've been doing.
Good deal. Good deal. That's kind of the thing that we're trying to impart to folks, that you have to get involved in some level, in some kind of way,
Yes.
because your freedoms are being eroded on.
So much every day.
And I see it every day. And while I'm not a politician or a politics type of guy, I recognize the organization is there to fight for that. And I'll do my part.
It takes, this is what we usually tell our members and so on and so forth. Right now it's $25 a year to join our organization.
Sure.
We take that money, we use it for publications and so on and so forth to keep people informed about what we're doing.
Sure.
And this thing helps us get people to realize what is going on.
That there's something of value there.
Exactly. For that $25, we give you quite a bit of information that you can dissect, and it's a freedom of choice.
Okay.
If you don't want to or whatever, you don't have to. But if you love the sport of riding a motorcycle,
Sure.
in the wind in your face and so on and so forth, you have to be in some sort of a SMRO or an organization that's helping you stay riding.
Outstanding. That makes good sense.
You know, I mean, it's some guys say, well, I love the party. We right now our organization is trying to get young people.
Sure.
The young people, times have changed so much from a little 350 Honda or a little Cushman Eagle that I had in 1956. Now they have bikes that go 200 miles an hour and so on and so forth.
For cheap.
For cheap. But we have to get these people trained to ride these motorcycles. A lot of people, just like we go into driver's training classes for awareness, teach them to watch out for motorcycles and so on and so forth. We've taught over in Michigan over the years over 25,000 students
Okay.
in driver's training,
Sure.
just to tell them to watch out for motorcycles.
Sure. The awareness.
Do we know if it works? Not sure, but even if it takes one to save somebody, we hope it does. And this part, these young people that get into these motorcycles, we want them to take a motorcycle safety class. Not just so much to learn or how to ride a bike, how to maneuver it, how to get out of danger if they can scan and see it.
Sure.
We want people to ride, enjoy riding,
And be safe about
and be
it.
safe about it.
and I think the driver's ed portion of it is important because here's a fact. All of us drive a car.
Exactly.
And at some point, those young people may want to pick up a motorcycle. So
Exactly.
there's a dual sword there that you have to be aware of.
Exactly.
So I think that's an important tool to use.
Well, it's one of the best things that we have going for us. I mean, statistics will show us that training to look out for cars, and we have cars look out for us,
Mm-hmm.
and how to maneuver a motorcycle, how to brake in a panic stop, and so on and so forth. That's where I like to help, basically. I mean, I'm getting older.
Right.
I I did my little party life, I guess you might, and I've been lucky to survive, I guess, in a sense.
Sure.
But it's the best. I couldn't have did anything better in my life as far as riding a motorcycle and having fun.
That is a value in itself.
Yes, it is. And the organizations, if you get into a bait, and the different states have different quorums for them, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But like Missouri, they call them the Freedom Riders of Missouri.
Okay.
Or just different areas that might have different than a bait.
Okay.
But the Motorcycle Riders Foundation, which is here today, I don't know where motorcycle would be without these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, without a bait even.
Sure.
Like I said, it took us 30 years in Michigan to modify the freedom of choice. We beat that bill.
Okay.
We was the last state to do that so far. We always like, my thing is, you ride a motorcycle, if you're trained, you know what to wear. You leave it up to the individual to wear to protect himself and so on.
Exactly.
You don't want me telling you, you should wear this and wear that. You understand what I'm saying?
You got to have this glove.
Yeah.
You got to have that boot. That type of thing.
If you're a trained person that will get trained, you should be able to make that choice of your own.
Make that decision on whether or not you want to wear that.
Yeah, I feel a bait of Michigan, not just a bait of Michigan, but that's where I'm from, but a bait of this country.
Mm-hmm.
There's 31 states that have pro-choice or whatever you can wear with it on or not.
Sure.
We would like to get more. We're working on that.
Okay.
We're working on bills in Washington to protect bikes, insurance, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
That's why every biker should belong or try to join an SMRO. That's a state motorcycle rights organization.
Gotcha.
And they're all over. If you go down the roads and see Look Twice, Save a Life, these little yellow things out on the roads, that's a biker, most likely, that put that out there. And if you broke down somewhere or whatever, you ain't that far from help.
Right. Exactly.
Or something.
Exactly.
There's so many people out here that enjoy riding, but the abate in MRF is what people should join.
Well, and I try to tell people too, go to a meeting. Most of these folks are very open about what they do. They want you to come.
Yes. They welcome. We welcome anybody. Anybody.
Right.
We have gotten in my state in the last 3 years a lot more women riding.
Sure.
And they have been coming. And well, I hate to say sometimes, but they do have some good ideas.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it gives you a different perspective.
Right.
And you always need a different perspective, especially when you let's say you're going down the road here and you're not getting too far. Maybe you need to change your perspective on why you're not getting too far.
Exactly.
So sometimes it takes an infusion of new blood, new ideas to come in and get you down the road. So.
Sport bike riders and stuff. We welcome them people.
Sure.
We would love. I found that, although I'm too short to touch the ground on some of them things, the young guys that do ride them are very knowledgeable. They know what they're doing on a bike. They know what the bike is.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just somebody jumped on one.
Right.
But I think that if we could get more young people, because I guess I'm not getting any younger. We need some young people.
Sure. But you've been on the trail a long time, so.
Well, I've been riding since 1956. I'm 71 years old,
Gotcha.
and I ain't getting tired of it.
Right.
And I
But
love
you're
it.
just getting older, right?
I'm just getting older.
right. That's cool. So now, as a biker, what's your next road trip?
My next road trip?
Yeah.
Well, I just got back. I was on the road for 6 weeks.
Gotcha.
I went up to Montana, to Glacier National Park,
Oh, wow.
but I couldn't go through it because of forest fires.
Okay.
They were having a great big mess up there with forest. But actually, I went around. I was in Oregon and so on. But next year, I'm going to the big state park in California.
Gotcha.
I want to see the redwoods, the big red trees
Sure.
they call them or whatever.
Sure.
I guess that's about what I'm going to do next year.
See, you prove my point. It's like I tell people all the time. A biker's always got his next road trip in his
Oh
head.
yeah, always
He's already thinking after he got off the bike. Okay, what's up next?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like to. I got a couple years ahead, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. But
Right.
I'm retired, so I can do a little bit more than some people
Sure.
can, because people have jobs and they can't get that time off.
Yeah.
So I usually have to ride with an old riding buddy or something like that. That's basically retired too and stuff.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Oh, without a doubt. Now, is there anything else you want these folks to know or impart with them? Any kind of knowledge or anything?
Well, I don't really know how to give a lot of knowledge.
Uh,
You have to accumulate that by riding. I ask everybody to ride safe as they can.
Mhm.
Please pay attention. It's so hard to be safe out there because nobody's looking for you.
Sure.
So you have to keep
Sure.
vigilant, keep an eye on everything. Have fun. That's what my life is about. Try to have fun, and help other people learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Gotcha.
That's about all I really care about. Like I said, I've done it for a long time. I've been blessed. I want to keep continuing to do it. And all the young people that want to ride, I just ask that they join a SMRO and learn the details, and they will have a great time.
Outstanding. Okay. With that, we're going to close down another segment of Real Riders Ride. I'm the spoiler. You ride safe, and we will see you on the road. And that's how we do it.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's how we do it.